These are 6 weird laws that still exist in California in 2025, and you won't believe number 1. Welcome, everyone, to Odd Statutes America, where we uncover the strangest laws still in place across America. Today, we're heading to California, a land of beaches, Hollywood, tech giants, and surprisingly bizarre laws that are still active. And before we start, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you never miss any of our new videos. Now, these aren't internet myths. These are real legal codes, many still in force in 2025. Let's explore 6 weird laws from California and how they affect the Golden State today. Number 1, no whistling for your canary before 7 a.m. Yes, it's actually illegal in Berkeley, California, to whistle for your lost pet canary before 7 a.m. Just imagine waking up early, going to work, and getting a ticket for trying to find your Tweety bird. How did this law even come about? Well, it's actually related to another common household bird, the canary. Back in the early 1900s, when Berkeley was growing, there weren't many rules about noise, and people would wake up early to take care of their birds, singing and whistling to attract their attention. But as the city grew and more people moved in, early morning noise complaints also grew. City officials wanted to keep the peace and quiet, especially after the sun came up. So they decided to limit whistling to after 7 a.m. to avoid disturbing neighbors. This law must have seemed like a small, simple solution to a small problem at the time. But today it stands out as a quirky example of how times have changed. Now, while the intent behind the law was good, trying to enforce it is likely a low priority for Berkeley PD. They probably have bigger fish to fry. So is this law still in force today? Not really. It's still listed in the city's municipal code, but it's unlikely anyone will ever be arrested for whistling for their canary before 7 a.m. The law is mostly a fun fact and a reminder of how things have changed over the years. Number 2, don't eat a frog that died in a jumping contest. Now that sounds strange, doesn't it? Well, you heard right. In Calaveras County, California, it is actually illegal to eat a frog that died during a jumping competition. This might sound like a joke, but it's a real law with a real story behind it. Let me explain. Calaveras County is home to the famous Jumping Frog Jubilee, an annual event held in the town of Angels Camp. The event is inspired by a classic Mark Twain story about a traveling gambler who gets into a jumping frog contest, except instead of betting on the outcome of the contest, he eats the winning frog. Twain never actually wrote about eating the frog, but this detail was added by locals when they adapted the story for their own annual frog jumping competition. The idea of a man eating a frog immediately raised animal rights concerns. PETA and other animal rights activists started speaking out against the event, which led to the county passing this unusual law. Now, no one is allowed to eat a frog that died during the competition. Any dead frogs must be properly disposed of. But the show must go on, and the frog jumping contest is still held every year in Angels Camp. It's a celebration of Mark Twain's literary legacy and a tribute to the unique culture of California's Mother Lode region. Number 3, detonating nuclear devices equals $500. Now, this sounds like a pretty serious topic, and it kind of is. If you detonate a nuclear bomb in Chico, California, you will be fined $500. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's true. This law might seem ridiculous, but it was actually passed in 1984 during the height of the Cold War. At the time, the threat of nuclear war was very real, and people were concerned about what would happen if a bomb went off. The Chico City Council wanted to make it clear that they would not tolerate any nuclear activity within city limits. They passed this law as a symbolic gesture to show that they were serious about protecting their community. And this law still exists today, though nobody has ever been fined for it. Some people think it's silly and outdated, but others see it as a reminder of how important it is to protect our environment and our communities from nuclear threats. Number 4, you can't wear cowboy boots unless you own 2 cows. Imagine going to a fancy restaurant or an important job interview wearing your favorite pair of cowboy boots and then getting a ticket because you don't own 2 cows. Believe it or not, this is actually illegal in some parts of California. This might seem like a joke, but it's a real law that was passed in the early days of California's cattle industry. Back then, people who wore cowboy boots were expected to be working ranchers who took care of their cattle. Wearing cowboy boots without having cows was seen as a form of false advertising. It was a way to make sure that people were being honest about their occupations. But times have changed. Today, people wear cowboy boots for all sorts of reasons, not just because they're working ranchers. Many people have cowboy boots simply because they look cool or they're comfortable. This law is no longer enforced, but it's still on the books in some places. So if you're planning on wearing your cowboy boots to that special event, better Google yourself first. Number 5. Illegal to use a hose without a shut-off nozzle. Now, this one is definitely something Californians take seriously. Using a hose to water your lawn without a shut-off nozzle is illegal in many places throughout the state. This might seem like a small thing, but it's actually a big deal when you consider the state's ongoing water crisis. California has been experiencing a severe drought for several years, and water conservation is crucial. Hoses without shut-off nozzles waste water and are banned in many places. So don't even think about watering your lawn with a hose in California without a shut-off nozzle. You could get fined. And number 6, peacocks have the right of way. This one takes the cake. Imagine driving down the street and having to stop for a peacock. It might sound funny, but it's actually a thing in Arcadia, California. Peacocks roam the streets freely and drivers must yield to them. It might seem odd, but there's a good reason for this law. The city of Arcadia has a long history with peacocks. Over 100 years ago, a local millionaire brought in several pairs of birds from around the world and released them into his large estate. The peacocks thrived in the area and eventually spread to neighboring cities. Today, Arcadia is known for its beautiful peacocks, which are considered a protected species in the city. Drivers must yield to them and pedestrians must use caution when crossing the street. If you want to see peacocks in all their glory, visit Arcadia, California. Just be prepared to stop for them if they cross the road. So there you have it, folks. Those are 6 weird California laws that still exist in 2025. From whistling for birds to yielding to peacocks, California is full of surprises. What do you think about these laws? Are they funny, strange, or just plain weird? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.